I got a topic. I want to talk about. I guess I'm going to be unapologetic with.
Think that screen. That screen good?
It's not going to see all y'all.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Just get both of them. No, you got to be upright. This was upright.
Got to be like this?
Yeah.
I got 12 in the front.
See how this fits. Is this one live?
Yeah, that's like everything live.
Alright. And we are live, Unapologetic, episode number 38. And today we're going to be talking about money. White money, black money.
Come on.
Dirty money, retirement money, all of that good stuff with our financial expert, Carolyn. But first, the Fab Five is back. We don't get this cast too often. I'm so good with live, and we are joined by Mike Tastic is back in the building.
T.A.
Dale, the storyteller, is back in the building. Live from we got Mark A. Twain back in the building.
What?
He was out in he was on that Old Town Road. And for 38 straight weeks and 2 times a week, none other than Antonio. White Sox.
Sometimes 4.
And sometimes 3 and 4. White Sox SC. Reed is in the building. We have some people watching as well. David and
among
the people out here. So,
We got no air.
it is kind of warm, but we'll be okay. We'll lose some weight out there.
Are we going to talk about our new corner? I don't podcast.
But we are sponsored by Jars by Jasmine, who brings us nice desserts. Go follow her. We're also sponsored by R&J Paint. And Julio's going to let us know about a special comedy show coming up soon. What you got for us, Julio?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. My girl Katrina Danielle. Mic check Entertainment presents the Father's Day Comedy and Music Bash, June the 14th.
That's a Friday.
Tickets reduced to $25. Fucking go to her page, get in there. We got Skin Bone, Leave at a Creek, and a lot of other funny and talented motherfuckers. So be there. We're more than likely going to be in the building if we can get all this shit to the spot. Get y'all ass out there, Joe.
Well, please support Katrina Danielle. This past Wednesday, we had Sinus Peach as our special guest. It was a very good show with Sinus Peach and T-Jar. And she has her own lip liner coming out. And if you need your hair, it's called Sinus Peach. Yes, that shows you all good watch.
What's the lip liner?
Lip gloss, I'm sorry. Lip gloss.
That's my
Okay. And you gotta get that black marker to put around the line.
Oh, that black shit?
Yeah.
Anime bullet.
That's an eye stupid shit.
It's iPads, yeah.
Alpha Mare Hair. If you need your weave and your wig done, Sana has her own weave company. Alpha Mare Hair. Hi J Clean was here. Ken and Will Foundation all have done great work and been guests. And we've had today be our 45th guest.
Damn.
I counted them all out. I could be missing some. I think I am, but
Is that Trump? 45.
40 to Carolyn will be our 45th guest. I'm going to start out tonight with what I'm unapologetic about, and I watched the Bro Code 2 today, and I listened to it. Excellent show, great job. That was the last time we all were together 2 weeks ago, and from that episode, the Bro Code was already violated. Already. I mean, did anybody learn anything? So I'm going to direct my unapologetic to the voice and the face of unapologetic, Mr. White Sox SC, who posted a picture with the young lady after we just said you cannot do it.
Hold on, what's that? Hey, that was perfect. Watch that. Hey, that was perfect, Joe.
So you already with a strike against you. Why?
Well, you gotta work the count, good one.
Baseball.
Sometimes you gotta take them outside, inside, just see what the pitcher throwing you.
Okay.
Full count?
Well, he say I got a strike, so it's all
okay.
one so far I'm a power hitter.
Okay.
So should I might have some more hats?
I hope you're a good two-strike hitter.
I batted 330 last year.
Oh, okay.
Working on.
Now that's a 330 lie.
Good one.
332.
Are you done?
Well, mine is gonna be simple, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be simple.
Speak up.
So,
Wow.
it's been a deaf America. It's a very important man, Frank Lucas,
Dang.
died.
Dang.
Frank Lucas died?
Died 88.
The real Frank.
Who was
Who
that?
is Frank Lucas?
Of course you would.
Professor Bumpy Johnson. You know,
Professor Bumpy
he
Johnson.
was Bumpy Johnson's assistant at
Good
one time.
riddance.
He took over the business. You know?
Dang.
This nigga said American
Did
Gangster.
you not see American Gangster?
That's chill.
That's one of the moment silence, a moment, Frank Lucas. They used to call you Frank.
When I get that from, I'm in
When you
here,
get
Joe.
you look like Frank.
A moment of silence for an American gangster.
A drug kingpin.
Okay. I'm not gonna be doing
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, I like that.
He was the Rosa Parks of
that. I'm gonna beg your pardon. I'm gonna beg your pardon.
excuse me?
What you gonna do?
Whoa, Rosa. They pushed her dog back too.
Did y'all?
Rose
That's
in your
Harriet
mind?
Tubman.
Oh, I thought the
Say
same
it
thing.
like one. He said sing one, sing it all.
It was out to be well.
We see you watch on Wednesday either.
Oh,
White Sox.
no, I want to apologize.
What?
Go ahead.
No, we're going to you.
You said.
No, I do got something.
Okay, come on.
I'm gonna kill that, man. Jay-Z. Look, I'm gonna apologize about people who feel like they need to post everything on the fucking internet. Everything don't need to go to the internet. I'm segueing into something.
Okay.
The guy, the baby, the dude with the
The
baby.
baby.
The guy, definitely don't like this. The guy goes and he's posting the nigga on the internet, then he gets beat out his pants. And I think that everybody who resorts to things like that, regardless, then he wanted to he started putting up all these different videos trying to defend himself about how he got jumped. I don't give a fuck if you got jumped. There's two people, you shouldn't have been bothering them. They beat your ass, what you expect?
Absolutely.
What you expect? I'm telling you, like if me and Hooli is in the same place and you fucking with me or Hooli, think we gonna just
Let you do the dumb
Nah, you
shit?
don't get your ass
Your ass beat
everybody.
into your
If
draw.
one of us win, we all swing.
He was beat into his draw.
Yes.
Up to
Bloody
a-
nose and fucking draws.
Concussion too.
He was dang.
He was high.
I'm gonna show you the video. Nah, nigga.
That motherfucker. My pants, man.
Yeah, then he just started putting up all these embarrassing ass videos. But
Can I piggyback you on
go
apologetic?
ahead.
When you get your ass beat, when we grew up, you just got your ass beat.
Come on.
You can't go on live and tell me you beat my ass, but I don't care after you admit it.
You lost.
You lost, just shut up. Or,
If somebody beat me into my draws, I think
Damn.
you would. I wouldn't even want to beat you.
Did his pants explode?
Beat me out of my
His
pants into my
draws,
draws.
When he said maybe then what was that by himself, he said his.
I don't care. If it was two people and they beat your ass out your pants, you can't be seen no more. I'm not even gonna talk no more. I'm just gonna
In
fucking
his defense, I think he was sagging. They wasn't on his waist.
you asshole, buddy.
look.
Pull your pants
Hey, your
up.
shit together. What's the first thing you do? You look like you pull up your pants.
right.
I guess he couldn't do it.
He should have had a belt.
That first punch cost him.
Cost him everything. Cost him.
They was in the Gucci store, right? Should have got a Gucci belt.
True.
He was
Yeah,
actually
he
trying to
posted-
purchase a belt.
Yeah,
Actually.
he
He was
went
gonna
back
purchase
and
it.
posted it. He went back with the security guard and was like, how many people was it? And he was like, yeah, hey, y'all got my belt? Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's just cloud chasing all
That's
wrong
what it
these
is,
days, man.
That's what it is.
Shit.
White Sox SC. What
What
you got
about
going?
Mark?
What I'm going
That's how we
to you.
move on,
White
okay?
Sox
Damn.
SC.
My shit light, they shit raw. People. This is gonna be quick and short. Black people, we fucking up again, Joe.
Yes.
What I've noticed out south on 55th, 39th, and all that shit, the black crosswalk is being ignored. and I've had enough of it. You bitches go by UIC, Mark, you know, and the whole traffic system stopped when them fucking white people walking from the VA to the other side. Stop letting my grandma, or your grandma, my people ain't from out here, Mark, UIC. Stop letting my grandma have to wait. It's a fucking crosswalk. And just because it's in the fucking hood or the ghetto or whatever you feel better call it, it doesn't get ignored. So from here on out, I'm going to take Rosa Parks. I'm Rosa Parks at the fucking crosswalk.
Okay.
When I leave here, if I see anybody, I'm going to fucking just slam on my fucking brakes, risking it all to set the tone that the black crosswalk is not to be ignored. I should have let freedom ring.
Is that a real thing?
So
The black crosswalk.
So you saying
A lot of people don't know that crosswalk means yield to pedestrians.
You know that shit on Dana when them white people walk. You
Come on.
You know that little yellow shit, like it ain't the street light, the little yellow shit in the middle of the street.
Anywhere.
It's the one.
Yeah, when they place it, you supposed to stop and people come out.
I'm lost. I live in Wheaton.
It's anywhere, but like
They probably had them there.
No, we don't have that.
Y'all don't have it?
Is it like the stop sign with the person in it?
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
Yeah,
we do that though.
With the white marks.
Black people don't listen to it out south.
See, that's why you trying to give me more.
I want you to come home,
Beverly.
E.T. Come on.
Never. I'll never come back.
Well, Beverly they
And
do.
a lot of people defend,
No,
a lot of people
no.
out south drive insurance-less cars and with no license.
Like Mexicans.
How do you know that? Mark
How do you know that?
Trump.
Look at the way
this
you
the
drive.
second time you didn't say that. You always trying to down minorities, and I'm sick of it.
Well, it's the
What's
fucking
the
truth.
truth?
But look at yourself.
Ask a copper. Every time you pull somebody over, they don't have fucking insurance.
Right, hitting your car and shit.
Yeah.
And you gotta pay out your deductible.
Say it.
Common sense. If you drive without insurance or license, drive like fucking Miss Daisy and
Have
shit.
some sense.
No, get out the way. Take side streets and get off the fucking road.
Exactly.
That's
Don't
what
drive like you.
Take the side street.
Side streets, bitch. Get off the main street. Stay away from me with your insurance ass.
Fuck, you drive like they late for work and shit.
Ford, the Astro van, whatever that old ass van, that truck.
Astro vans and fucking minivans.
Are we talking about black people?
Talk about both. Talk about
I'm talking about minorities.
Let me know something. Because I don't know no black man with Astro vans.
Yeah, you know the niggas with
They
vans.
stole
I'm talking about the Mexicans with that one.
Okay.
But you know the niggas got Buicks and shit.
Astro man got the curve.
Yeah.
That's the Raper man.
No,
But that's in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's in the 80s.
Come-
Crack in the hands.
Always remember that what you hear out the mouths of the individuals are their own opinions and not of unapologetic as a whole. And we don't own the rights to any of the music that you hear. Mark A. Twain, what you got for us tonight?
Unapologetic gonna back up our opinions and everything.
I'm real, sir.
Unbelievable.
And he's speaking for
Who
us.
sponsors it?
But
No answer, just a smirk. All right.
I'm unapologetic about parents who have badass kids and don't own up to it.
Thank you.
You know your kids ain't shit. I'm gonna need you to stop defending them
Go ahead,
and
Mark.
with shit, you know, everything, because I be having to go to my daughter to school, and when shit happens, I be pissed off, and I be like, well, what the fuck is these parents? Y'all come calling me, you know what I'm saying? My daughter, she just reacted. Where is the other child's parents? And you should be telling them
What's
what the fuck
the
they
child's
said.
name, Mark?
I don't know. They gonna tell
You
you.
gotta find a name.
That's all.
I
They
need
gonna
you.
tell you. Like,
It's
if
a
you be like,
sheriff,
who the
it's
fuck
a
hit my child? They not gonna tell you.
911.
All
That's
the cops?
that's usually what the parents that's usually what the parents say. You know, they're gonna defend their child. So you defending their child, their parents
No,
will
no,
defend
fuck
theirs
that.
as well.
I know my kid, and I know
That's exactly what they all say.
No, but wrong. You know your
No,
kids.
real talk. I
Say,
be
bro.
transparent. Like, if I know, if they say Maya did something, I be like, yeah, that sound like Maya. But when they tell me some shit that Maya, I'm like, no, that's not Maya. She just not gonna up and hit
You
somebody.
sound like one of them parents.
Each parent is saying the same thing.
They don't know
No.
their
Well,
child.
maybe you have a bad child, Mark.
No.
Whoa,
no.
whoa.
Yeah, why should cracking with this motherfucker?
You should. You out of line.
I'm gonna help
You
you,
one of those
Mark.
parents all
I'm
the
gonna help.
time.
Damn.
First of all, Mark, you gotta get a better I'm pissed off voice, because if you went up there
I'm
like
pissed
that, right? Because I didn't know you
Voice
was mad.
cracking and
I'm
shit.
like, It's an old, it's an white boy.
Yeah, right. I'm handing up to here.
What?
Mark, you gotta go. See, if you want that shit to start, you gotta make the scene. That's why you got us.
Make the scene.
Make me
I'm
come.
there.
There
You
no.
with me then.
I'm not.
trying to be. I would try not to be the ghetto parent.
I'm here for
But you're
that.
saying the ghetto stuff. Every time unapologetic, you say ghetto things that bash minority people and parents.
Tell me when I'm lying though.
You're right, and Mark, I think he's falsely accusing you. You're more levels than all of us animals up here. I like the approach that you're trying to take, but sometimes you gotta make the scene, Joe. Like this girl hit my son like 2 grades ago. She punched his ass. And Data, I was like, punch that little bitch back. Joe. What the fuck is you talking about?
What?
No.
Knock that little bitch out. You hit my son, he gonna hit you back. And everybody on my Facebook like, she probably like a bitch say words, y'all. It's appropriate grade.
Use your words.
Use the words you learned today.
Write a letter or something.
Let my
Do
son
you like
know.
me? They still do that?
Right, that ain't how I express love. But no, yeah, that shit, I feel you though, Mark. Motherfuckers never know what they kids did. Then it's like half of a teacher-parent conference, just you, the principal, and some crackers and shit. And it's like, what the fuck are the crack saltines? You think, no! See, you learned that. Oh.
Somebody said.
I feel that, like, in situations like that, you do give them one try.
Yeah.
And then you go back up there and make the fucking scene. I knock all this shit over. You gotta say shit like that.
Principal does too.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck this fool.
Y'all Mr. Darnell now.
There you go.
Lean on me, guys.
I bust my black eye.
Mark, you were in a wedding last weekend. That's why you couldn't make it. Why don't you give us a little bit about Nashville?
Nashville. We gotta hit up Nashville. It was pretty cool. The country music capital. They have their own version of Bill Street. It's called Broadway Street. They got a lot of bars similar to
Nothing like the real.
Ooh.
Okay.
He was on the other side
I'm
at
not
the same
from
time.
Nashville. I'm not gonna
Okay.
talk about that. But they are building. They're currently building an African American music museum.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go down there for
They
that.
stole everything.
And everything. The wedding was beautiful. It was my uncle's wedding. He's
Yo.
60 years old, and he married him a 40-year-old.
Let's go. That's how you do shit.
Yeah, what he say?
He got him a youngin.
Yeah. Is this his first marriage?
No, this is second.
Okay.
How old was his first wife? 60.
Same age. as
Get
him.
rid of her.
Get rid of your ass. Get rid of your ass.
You the ghetto.
Get rid of her.
You the ghetto over there. You got to get. You know that get. You know that get.
Mike Fantastic, you were in Memphis, Beale Street, Memphis in May. What did you think about that?
93-degree weather.
He's so
all
disrespectful.
The days I was there. It was wonderful. I just want to say, here's Bill Street had nothing compared to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen so many nice asses in one
I
strip
agree.
of
Oh,
land.
yeah. Nice ass.
Plum. Everywhere you go.
Plum?
Plum.
Damn, you get some pussy.
So you go.
Wait, good. When he had some
Say that.
shit.
We almost supposed to say that.
We finna be extremely quiet.
No comment.
Okay. Saying no comment is like saying
So
yes.
you put in a vacation day for next year this time?
I am. We all are.
No, I won't be doing that nigga shit.
They getting on the
Damn.
I'm doing the nigga shit. If it's all black shit, I'm done with it.
But it was metal detector site.
I don't care. Too old to put my life in
Those
people's
best
hands.
Texas make you feel safe.
I felt very safe.
Oh.
But really, the police station is on Beale Street.
Don't matter. Police station was
I'm
across
not
6-1.
talking to you anymore.
Oh,
Man, you
okay,
was
okay.
just the hood in front
Well,
of
I'm just saying, it was right there. Still didn't stop shit.
That's
The
a
police-
valid
The police station is right on Beale Street, and it was like for every 10 steps, it was a cop car with at least like 6 or 7 cops. I never seen so many police in my life.
Okay.
And then it was an altercation there, but did they shut it down? Hell no. In Chicago, one altercation, y'all shut it down, bro.
So they ain't got time for that
But
nigga
that
shit.
it didn't close. It was like they said it didn't close.
That's a club tax you have on.
Is
right?
it?
Nice.
Was it like musical
Yeah,
performances there?
It was a lot of clubs. You mean like a blues musician?
No, like Yo Gotti or something. Since they
Why would he come?
He from Memphis.
It's a stripper club like Division and Clyde. But it's
So
all
like,
Oh, man.
what's the street in New Orleans?
Division and Clark, you man.
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street. Like Bourbon Street?
yeah. It's like a
Strip ball.
maybe like not a mile, like a little 3/4 of a mile.
Okay. Okay.
And it was like entrances from everywhere. The lines was going like they was wrong as hell, man.
Okay.
When we left, the lines were still
Yeah,
wrong.
well, maybe next year we can make that happen. You organize and
I'm
you
not
get the
organizing
Airbnb.
shit. I'm going by myself again. Baby. If you gonna do that, if you you gonna do that, I'm going by myself again.
Mike, you don't gotta take it personal.
Nah, fuck all y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck you and fuck Jamal.
We were victims.
Mike, we were victims. That shit was like we were fucking living in a hostel.
Let me tell y'all the restraints y'all gave me. These motherfuckers was cheap, and they left me no time to find them.
Yeah. And so you
They say I
got
want you to this much.
you got what they paid for. They got what they paid
My
for.
blood rushed to my head every night because I was sleeping on the fucking ankle. It was that bad. Motherfuckers lightheaded in the motherfucker. We stagger around
space.
We just we used to stagger around and shit, stepping on clothes coming out the fucking wood. Like, damn.
He fucking lying because your bed tilted down.
Oh, I got right. I'm laying on that.
No, you.
No, Jamal was at the top. I was at the bottom.
No, bitch.
We was feet to heads. We were scared to sleep alone. We were scared to sleep alone. It was like the cab. You pull the cab. It was just a tunnel. Like they was going to Mexico and shit.
Yeah.
It was.
Mike, were you in the house with them in New Orleans?
No, I didn't live in the trap house. I visited though.
Oh, okay.
But why were you in the house? Because you paid on time.
Well,
you scheduled your shit.
Well, I paid. I chose to live with you guys.
Well,
I gave up my.
Why did you do that?
Because I thought you had class, Mike.
Did you view the Airbnb?
Yeah, he got full color pictures.
I sent all of them the pictures.
And it was like, yeah, let's
That shit looked nice.
It didn't show the roaches,
It was hard.
geckos,
Yeah.
the moat that surrounded it.
It was.
We had the canoe to the front door.
That would be my last time.
Jump on fucking puddles and shit. Long jump.
I had such a hilarious experience.
Mike, it's okay, right? It's
You right, it's okay.
Dude slept all motherfucking trip. He kept sleeping. He slept comfortably on that couch.
Who
was dude?
Deshaun Jackson,
DESH.
DJ,
Underscore.
Dash.
Dash, 2019.
To be continued.
Mark A. Twain set this episode up a few weeks ago, about a month ago. This young lady, Miss Carolyn, she's in the building today. She's going to be talking to us about how to invest our money and how the importance of insurances and all that type of stuff. And Mark is a client, so he has some expert advice. She has expertise in this. So we are now going to bring Miss Carolyn to the stage.
You gotta twerk or something, girl. You gotta do.
Carolyn of Lloyd Agency, American Income Life. She's a supervising agent, and we are thankful to have you here today to share your expertise and knowledge and hopefully school us, because I'm pretty sure most of us here need what you're going to give us
On life.
I'm pretty sure.
and what you gave Mark.
Yeah, Mark got the inside track.
Right.
Niggas don't never put niggas on, Dale.
But he
You
did
got
today.
a money marker.
He did today.
No, man, he probably up on me.
I mean, he in here talking about how we don't have car insurance, so
That's
Who ain't
me.
got car insurance?
Minority.
I'm a minority.
Stay away from my
I'm
kid.
minority.
Stay away from my
it's
kid.
the
You
law.
don't have car
Hell
insurance?
no. Fuck, I'm gonna let that go. I ain't gonna hit you.
Unbelievable.
You just don't hit me.
Unbelievable.
You want a nigga?
Russian roulette.
Don't hit me. I call you.
You got a
living on the
2019.
17.
Is that true? You don't have car
On
insurance?
neither car.
Who is that?
Out of line.
Okay, well, Carolyn, why don't you start there? Why don't you tell us about the importance of having car insurance and
Hold
what
on,
you
let's
can do
say
to help?
niche.
that's you.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
lurking. They were lurking.
Miss
I
Carolyn,
kept seeing that.
supervising agent.
There you go.
Okay.
One is old.
So why don't you tell us the importance of car insurance and why it's needed?
Car insurance or life insurance? Which one?
Let's go
You
with
need
car.
both.
He doesn't have car, so let's start
You
with
not
car.
gonna say your energy
So
for me.
look, I'm gonna tell you, it's the law to have car insurance.
That's what you
So
lost
if you
me.
don't have car insurance, then I know you don't have no life insurance.
What the hell am I getting life insurance for? I'm not gonna die.
Hold on.
my God.
Hold on. Let's stay with car insurance. So with car insurance, first of all, it is the law. And what are some other factors into car insurance being a necessity?
I mean, all insurance is the same thing. It serves the same purpose. If you break your phone, you got phone insurance?
No.
So you don't pay $6 a
I'm not
month.
gonna break my phone.
You don't got insurance on your phone?
Look,
I don't. I'm not giving nobody free money.
right?
Unless they give me ass.
God.
It's your life.
That ain't free.
So that's
Trust, duly noted.
so insurance is all the same thing. Don't matter if it's car insurance, phone insurance, life insurance. It's the transfer of risk. It says that if something happened, no matter what it is, they're gonna take care of it. Now, nobody plans on dying, getting into a car accident. You don't plan on your phone dropping in the toilet when you get up. You don't plan on it getting slammed in a car door. Nobody actually is like, tomorrow I'm gonna fucking drop my phone out the car and let it hit the ground and my screen is gonna shatter, right?
Here's what I think. If you're done,
Okay.
She's not.
all of those people are clumsy, old, or
Right.
fucking idiots. I'm neither.
Right. So I see where you're going with that, right?
I'm a Sagittarius, so I think.
What does that mean?
Work with me.
I'm here with you, man.
I choose not to live with this could happen. It gotta happen for me to think it ever was going to happen.
Right.
So you the third little pig.
I think
What?
He's your third little
He
pig.
lost me with you.
Look, you playing it with the bricks and all that shit.
Oh,
I'm not doing that shit.
Come on with it.
I'm the first one. Well, yeah, we were hating.
Did she go to the market?
Yeah, I was.
okay.
So I think us people with insurance, we live a smoother lifestyle while you on pins and needles.
I'm not though.
Because you scared you gonna fuck some shit up.
It's actually the opposite.
I think
You planning for shit that I think y'all nut jobs. They like, it's gonna rain, and I just go outside and then I'm like, I was in the crib and I'm outside. And then they say it's gonna rain, and I'm outside.
So you just want to live on the wild side.
I'm living on the edge. I don't have time. That's found money, and I'm not gonna play you because you might say some shit that do catch me. But so far, you're not catching me.
Well, let's see. Let's get what you
So I see what you're saying. You just living life every day. I mean, that's cool, right?
I'm trying.
I mean, it's fine because I've been paying phone insurance for like 20 years and I've probably broken my phone once, right?
True.
But I will tell you that the one time I did break my phone because they told me this shit was waterproof.
It's an iPhone.
And
right?
it wasn't, no, it's a Galaxy.
You deserve everything you get.
I mean, first of all, they got Lil Wayne on the commercial.
Don't
with
put
a
Lil
phone
Wayne in
there,
this.
right? And a fish
Don't you
tank.
bring Lil Wayne
He's
in this.
taking pictures, but what they don't tell you is that it's
You
not
gotta be a
salt
rapper.
waterproof.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just not salt waterproof.
Oh.
Right? So I was in Jamaica living my best life, boom, pictures. By the time I get home, what happened? My battery separated.
Damn.
I just went to Jamaica and like was living my best life. So now it's time for me to pay $800 for a new phone. Or guess what? That $6 insurance that I've been paying for 20 years is gonna actually kick in.
I like the way you did that.
So, although yes, I paid $6 for maybe 20 years, I also just replaced a $1,000 phone that I never intended on replacing.
Now that's the bright side. Or you could have not did that shit.
I could have, but then I would have been on pins and needles, right?
True.
I would have been like, I just bought this phone. They said I could use it to take pictures. I'm trying to experience. He was just in there with the fish.
He was
Oh, I
on the
can't-
car to fight.
Y'all have to
This
So
guy-
I'm snorkeling. I'm trying to get a like they just told me I could do it, right?
About
This
death.
guy was been in sprint raising hell, flipping tables, talking
Yeah.
about, man, y'all told me this shit was waterproof, Joe.
And that's true. Now they gotta explain the commercial to me.
Why?
And to get me out, they just gonna give me another phone.
So
I
that's,
hope they don't.
But your blood pressure's up in the meantime.
Right.
They're not gonna just give you
They're gonna call that guy.
but then now you gonna die. Now who paying for you to
That's-
die?
I'm dead. I don't give a fuck.
What about your people? They get.
I'm gone.
Do you have
Dale,
kids?
step up, my boy.
Hey, I got you, nigga. I got
So
you. Trash
why
bag.
don't you tell us the importance of life insurance? Because
That's
that's a different type of insurance.
That's what's wrong with us. Yes.
The minorities?
Yes. So what if I told you like that they don't want to sell us life insurance because we were black?
I would believe that.
Right? But it's because we don't value it. It's all financial responsibility. So if you're not like thinking, so people think that white people like just got it good, which they do, don't get me wrong, right? They have that privilege, right? But what happened is people had the mindset to think about it. Them people that come from those countries, they didn't come here with money. They came here with life insurance money.
Okay.
Right? So what happened was somebody grandma was like, I'm gonna get this policy for $500,000. My kids are grown, I'm gonna leave it to my grandkids. So now when their grandkids come over here, they have $500,000 that they didn't do shit for.
With good credit.
With good credit.
Yeah.
While we over here because
Born with bad credit.
Come on.
born with bad
Come
credit.
on now.
There you go, right?
That's how they did it. I already know.
That's exactly how they did it. And we listened to it and we had a blueprint, but we don't appreciate it, right? Because we thinking about this shit not gonna happen to me. But at the end of the day, everybody gonna die one day or another unless you got the secret sauce. And if you got the secret sauce, then I mean
Put us
put
on.
me in because I'm trying to make it to at least 120.
So explain to him he has a child.
Why the fuck is he explaining it to me?
Well, explain to us because you the one that said it.
I can't even
You the only one that don't
I
probably
can't
know how life
decide.
You
insurance.
ain't ask a question to the class.
So explain to us about the importance of having life insurance for the people who have to deal with us in our death.
I mean, financial responsibility is financial responsibility, whether you alive or you dead. Even though you're not here to physically see those bills, when you die, guess what? That light bill still gonna come. That Comcast bill still gonna come. The mortgage still gotta be paid, whether you here or not. But if you're the breadwinner, then guess what? Who's here to pay it? What are you gonna say, Mark?
I was just
The
saying,
kids.
so if I die legally, they can come after my family members about.
Yeah, they
Yeah, they
can,
gonna-
but not even for. So like, don't even think about your credit card bills and your car note, right? Just think about you have your daughter, right?
Right.
How old is your daughter? 13, 12? She's
That
12,
bitch.
right? So you have a 12-year-old. Lord forbid something happened to you tomorrow.
Right.
Your daughter still got to be taken care of at least to the age of 21. Black people gonna say 18, right? Because we a little petty like that, right? We just trying to get them to legal age.
Come on.
But let's say 21. So now you have from 12 to 21 that somebody has to take care of her. Without your income, like, is she gonna live the same life?
Hell
Probably
no.
not, right? Now, not saying don't nobody love her. I got a 5-year-old. If I die right now today, my family is huge. Is my daughter gonna be taken care of? Are they gonna love her? Yeah. But at the end of the day, like,
Financially.
she still gotta go to ballet. She still gotta go to gymnastics, swimming. Like, this is all that stuff. And when you think about the people that's gonna take care of your kids, financially, can they do it?
That's real.
Like my mama still, she been working 3 jobs since I was little. She still worked 3
She's
jobs.
Jamaican.
Nah, she might as well be though. So she's still been working. She still to this day work 3 jobs, and her youngest is in 24, right? So with that being said, is my mama gonna take care of my daughter? Yeah, but my daughter gonna have the necessities, right? My mama working 3 jobs and she taking care of herself. So the average person retires with less than $13,000 a year to live off of.
Wow.
So you thinking about like right now and that money right now, like we working every day 12, 15 hours a day just to make it to retirement at 65. And when you retire, that 401, that IRA, that money not enough for you to even pay your bills. That's what I was a store manager with Walgreens for 11 years. People come in, the older people come in, they can't afford their meds. They supposed to take this pill every day. They taking one every other day, one every 2 days, right? Because they can't afford it. They living off of Social Security. So, but when you don't have that financial savvy, or you know you need life insurance, but you don't know what type of life insurance you need. It's all different. It's not the same, right? So you want to make sure that you have what's right for you and your family. Now, don't get me wrong. It's no bad type of life insurance, but you want to make sure you have a little bit of everything because they all serve different purposes.
So
right?
you don't want. So it's a good idea to not put all your eggs in one.
You never
basket.
put all your eggs in one basket.
That's your point.
Is it safe?
Just crazy. I got a question. So when you get older, if you play your cards right wherever you're supposed to have like pension coming in, Social Security.
Right, so you have to remember that. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that's a good thing. You have the people that work for Sears, right? Sears went out of business. You have all those people that had pensions, but guess what? Sears can't afford to pay those pensions and let those people keep their life insurance. So you have these people that are in their 70s and their 80s, and guess what? They're losing one or the other. So they're going to have this pension. They're probably too old to purchase life insurance, but at the end of the day, you have people that work for 30 years for a company, and their pension is only paying them $20,000 a year. And you have to remember, these people are in their 70s and 80s. $20,000 back then was a lot. What's $20,000 right now?
Nothing.
Right? You're not gonna
they also getting Social Security too, right?
You know how much Social Security pay?
Tell me.
Not enough. You know they pay $255 if you die. So when you
That's
die,
enough for the wooden box.
that's not even enough for
That
a good
shit,
box.
you ain't getting that.
You
Couple
can't go.
bouquets, motherfucker,
You
man.
cannot.
Shit.
So that's gonna pay for one read. So people have to remember like that when you die. Unfortunately, I lost a brother last year, right? And we were fortunate enough to be able to bury him correctly. But black people, we always think about the funeral and making sure the funeral taken care of, right? We got some people that love us that's gonna take care of that. But my brother has 4 boys at the end of the day. Those boys young, they still have to live a full life, right? So it's easy to say, right, cremation and save your money, but you saving $10,000. What is $10,000 gonna do for a kid for the next 20 years?
Home in the river.
It takes $757,000 to be considered part of the 1%, right? So in order to make sure, no, you just have to have a total of $757,000, right? But your kid can, because that's my goal for my daughter to automatically, no matter what age I am when I die, and hopefully it's 120 because that's what I'm shooting for, her or my grandchildren are automatically going to be in that 1% because guess what? I have $800,000 of life insurance that I'm leaving them, right? No matter what, that $800,000 is going to go to her. Now she can buy a house, a car, a business, which I'm hoping that I teach her right so that she's financially stable. But that's money that she can take and invest that into whatever it is her little heart desire, or that's going to ensure that my grandchildren are taken care of. I'm not worried about college. I'm not worried about them growing up in the same neighborhoods that I have. They automatically get that opportunity to go further than we could ever dream. So for us, you think about when we grew up, right? We grew up, you grew up outside, it was everybody. You had just enough so that maybe you weren't poor and you weren't homeless, right? And your goal for your children is always what? To give a better life than what. But you don't really know what you can give them or how to, because we didn't know. Like my mom knew I needed life insurance, but she didn't know nothing about the different types of life insurance. Right? She knew she should invest, but she didn't properly know how to invest. Like my mom got a 401, an IRA, all this stuff, and when I go and I look at the money that's in there, I'm like, you getting up there like this it? Like, did you take some out? And she like, no, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't want my mama to be that person that can't take her medicine. So you have to know, like, there's so many different types. You have to know what you have, how to use it, and how to make it work for you.
Well, most people, they think that they miseducated on in life insurance because they probably think they can't afford it. So can you talk about, like, say a person just getting out of college, they're not making much, can they afford life insurance?
Those are the best people about life insurance, but those are also the people that don't want life insurance, so they think that they don't need life insurance. Like I have a 24-year-old sister, and I literally this morning had this conversation with her, right? She called, she asked me some questions about life insurance. She like, I'm gonna get my policy, but not right now. I'm young, I don't need it. And I'm like this literally is costing you $27 a month, not even $27 a month. So you have to think about if you invest it right, so you can go the less expensive way and you can have a term policy, right? That term policy, what that's gonna do is just make sure that you actually have life insurance, which is the big thing, right? Just have some.
And they do have life insurance policies where you equity might not be the right word, but where you can
It's
you're
gaining
building,
cash.
it's
So that's a
gaining
whole
cash,
life policy.
right?
I recommend whole life for anybody young, right? Because you're gonna pay the least amount of money. You are the youngest, you are the healthiest that you will ever be, and you are gonna gain the most cash that you ever will than anybody. So somebody that's 22, let's say for 100,000, I might pay $87 a month, right? But if you're 22, you're gonna pay $57 a month. Now it might not seem like a big difference, but if you're saving $30 over the course of 30 years, right? $30 a month times 12, that's $360 or something like that. Over 30 years, like we talking change, right? Now you doing something with your money.
So you got my attention right there. Because what I was thinking, that with each like decade, they boost the monthly payment. So you're locked in.
So whole life is permanent insurance, okay? It's never gonna expire. You never have to renew or requalify for it. It's gonna gain cash value. That's money that you can take out of that policy over time, right? That's your money, okay? Now you have term. Term is going to terminate. That's why it's called term at 10, 20, 30 years at the age of 65, right? Sometimes it goes to 70, 80. You'll see policies like that. But it's not designed for you to keep that long, okay? That's why you get term insurance through your job. When you leave your job, it terminates, right? It's designed to pay off a mortgage, to pay for college education, to replace your income. That's why when you fill out your paperwork, they say, do you want 1, 3, or 5 years times your salary, right?
Motherfuckers don't be knowing.
Nobody knows,
They
right?
don't know.
So I go and I see people, and the first thing people say is, I got insurance. I got it through my job. It only cost me $4. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? But what happened when you leave that job? Like that $4 is your income replacement, right? That means that when you die, they're gonna send your family a check for $2,500 or whatever you make a month every month for the next 1, 3, or 5 years, right? It's not bad at all, but you got to know what you have. So when that term policy, once you hit 60, guess what? It's going up. So when that policy, whenever it terms, whether it's 10, 20, 30 years, 65, right? When that policy ends the first time, your price is guaranteed to go up. Okay, 100%. It's never gonna stay the same, and it's gonna keep going up every 5 years, every 3 years, every 2 years, every year until it expires. Now you have some companies like Primerica, right? They buy term, invest the rest, which is a great idea if you're dealing with the people that can invest, right? If you're dealing with people who just have life insurance, like just to say that they have it, how much are you really investing? And that's why I come into my seniors, right? They have a term policy and now they 75 and this policy expired and they can't afford it anymore. And now they looking at me to save them, and I'm like, you're going to get a whole life policy and it's going to cost you $150. And they like, oh my God, this is a ripoff. And I'm like,
So Primerica is good?
no, all insurance is good, right?
Maybe we try.
So
Hell
look,
yeah, G.
so let me tell you, I don't speak ill about any insurance company because I'm an insurance agent, right?
Okay.
Come on.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just tell you the differences between those policies, right? So term, no matter what company is with, is gonna terminate at one point or another. Guaranteed, you never gonna gain interest or cash value from it, right? If you have a Primerica policy, that's amazing. They have excellent term policies, right? That term is usually a 20, 30-year term. It's 100% great to have, right? But just know that that shouldn't be your only insurance policy, because that policy is going to end at some point. And when it ends, I can guarantee you that you're not going to want to pay $600 or $700 for a policy.
Because
Because by that time
You
you
can't
didn't
even afford
you
it.
didn't had diabetes, you didn't get
Exactly. You don't even-
Congestive
all
heart
types of-
failure.
You can't even get it.
Congestive heart failure.
it seems like you saving our generation, but it sounded pretty sad. What dumbass will ever get term insurance if you?
I'm one of
Do
them.
they not know?
So I'm one of them, right? So when I was younger, my mom just told me I had insurance. I had a term policy. I let it go because I was young. I ain't need insurance, right? I never knew about insurance before I started here. But now, guess what? I have that 5-year-old, right? So I told you I need $800,000 to make sure she's in a 1%, right? But guess what? Having $800,000 a whole life, it gets expensive,
Okay.
right? So I have to increase my whole life as my cash goes up. I don't want to have something that I can't afford or I can't maintain. But my daughter is 5, so if I die, Lord forbid,
You ain't gonna die.
before she gets 21, I need to leave a lot of money to carry her for a long period of time. So that means that's where that term policy comes in at, because that term is going to give me a large sum of money for a much lower price than whole life.
Okay, I guess so. You work in the system. You like,
You
I got
gotta
this
know
for the
how.
kid.
Exactly.
I get what you
So
mean.
I have my whole life policy, right? So let's just say right now I have probably $300,000 of whole life, right? That's my money. That's my cash. So what's gonna happen is my whole life over the next, let's say 30 years, I'm gonna pay about $90,000 for this, right? Over 30 years, that's what I'm paying to have $300,000. So most people are like, that's a lot of money. It is, but in 30 years, guess how much my policy is worth? $109,000.
So it's a plea.
So no, my cash went up. So now I just made $19,000 profit off of my life insurance.
Okay.
And if I die, my life insurance still pays out. So I made $19,000. Now I can take that $109,000 of cash from my life insurance and I can invest that into an annuity.
Okay.
That's what's gonna fund my retirement money, right? So that's where when I'm 65, I take that retirement money from my cash, or should I say from my life insurance policy, I put it into an annuity. That's gonna make more money for me, right? So now I'm taking that $109,000 and turning that into essentially $400,000, right? So now what I really spent was only $90,000.
To flip for the fuck.
And I'm getting $400,000 to benefit me while I'm alive, so I can live off of. And now when I die, my baby still got life
So you
insurance
take that
money.
money out early?
We recommend 65 because at 65 that's the average retirement age, right? You can take it out before 65, but at 65 it's like when you.
Will they penalize you if you take it out early?
No, but if you take it out, you pay yourself back like you can. You don't have to, but if you pay yourself back, you're paying yourself back with interest. Remember, you're paying yourself back. You're not paying the company, right? So you're paying yourself back with interest, but all that's doing is putting your cash back where it would have been if you never would have took any of it out of.
Okay, so you don't have to play catch up because of
Exactly,
interest.
right? So it's really just putting back all your cash over time.
Okay.
With your numbers, you ever consider selling drugs? Because you flipping at 90 to the 4. I'm listening now. She flipped that.
Ain't no pies over there.
My sister asks me all the time, what you doing? I say, I'm slinging eye in the hood, right? Because it's really what you doing. So I work in an urban community where people don't understand it, and I literally have to go in and educate them, right? But the first thing everybody say when I come is, I don't want to buy no insurance, or I already got insurance. And I'm like, okay, good. And they like, okay, I don't need no more. And I'm like, yes, you do. It's no such thing. No widow or no child who's lost a parent has ever said, man, they left me too much money. Like, who
Are we catching on?
does that?
Are we catching on?
He's asking, has your way of doing it, are you reaching people with your approach?
She reached Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark is easy to be had.
Mark
easy.
No,
Mark came out with all his policies like, I got insurance. I was like, okay, that's good.
I
Mark
didn't
was-
know I wasn't like
Mark
one of
was,
these
you know-
regular minorities.
He back up.
But that's good because what happened is a lot of people will do that. They'll come out like, I got insurance. But what happened is when I show you how to read your insurance, because when you bought that insurance policy, you had insurance policy?
I had through my job.
Through your job. Do you have one outside of work?
Mm-hmm.
How long you had it?
He got term life.
No, I have whole life.
But how long have you had it?
This is since 2010.
Okay, do you remember everything that came with that policy? Do you remember exactly every?
I know that it's gaining money.
That's
That's how I
it,
remember
right?
it.
So that's the thing, right? So when people get this when they take out the insurance policy, right? Same thing with Mark. You like it's gaining money, so it's whole life. But guess what? There's other insurance policies that gain money that's not a whole life. So you could have it's called a universal policy. So what happened is you could have a term policy that's gaining interest, but at some point that policy still gonna terminate. And your interest is gonna deplete. That's the one where you lose the interest, right? So you just want to make sure that you always review those documents, because if you bought something 15 years ago, You don't remember all the ins and outs of that. You just know that you had it. They said something about interest. You remember the stuff that stuck out to you, right? Mm-hmm. So you always want to check up on those things, right? Visit the life insurance person. When they tell you, like, we're going to come out and review it, like, let them come out. Have them mail you another policy. And black people, stop putting your policies in the safe deposit box, in the lock box.
In the
don't have
cupboard.
Yeah, I mean, put it where all the papers at, where somebody could find it, right? But don't have it, because I promise you, nobody gonna kill you for $25,000.
Come on.
Oh
You don't know my people.
Be responsible and give it to the person.
We got the bomb. We want that $25,000.
Oh my God.
And we just talked about Aretha Franklin's wheels. That stuff.
That shit was on the couch. It was on the couch.
Yeah.
Old, and that's a celebrity. So top that.
And that's the problem, right? So Aretha Franklin was old and rich, so we just assumed she had life insurance, right? Assumed she had a will.
And Deacon from Amen.
So how many people gonna assume that I got a will at the age of 35?
But you do.
But I do, right? Only because I got my will was a fluke. Actually, it was before I was doing life insurance. I had $500,000 of insurance through my previous job through Walgreens, and I thought I was balling. I'm like, when I die, yes, give me a will. I knew somebody who did them. I wrote out a will.
For Mr. G.
I literally planned out all this. Who was gonna take care of my baby? How much money they was gonna get? Like, I was on it. I'm like, yeah, don't nobody have one of these. And then I left Walgreens, and I was like, who I sent my life insurance payment to? And it was like, you could get this $700 Cobra package. That life insurance is staying here. I was like, so my will just really.
You see my face? It's just the excitement. But I think why you losing me is because I've never seen somebody be so excited to die. You caring about people, you're not here anymore.
It's not really exciting because I'm going to live to 120. So
you
make sure y'all send y'all kids to my funeral.
Yes, I'll be there. I ain't dying.
Grandkids.
Yeah.
I'll be there like shit. I still
make sure you be like, go to my life insurance lady funeral. She was lit, right?
She was cool.
She was cool. Ain't nobody else here but her. Just go. But it wasn't really about that. It was more or less about my daughter. Like, I care about my daughter at the end of the day. Like, everybody else, they all grown. My siblings, I raised them.
They was
my
in the
cousins.
wheel? It should have just been your daughter.
You know what? No, because my youngest sister, that's my youngest
You
child.
put her in there?
So, I've raised my youngest two siblings, right?
Different.
So those two were kind of like my babies. I did this will a long time ago. But
it can be amended.
it can. You kick people out. So don't ever think that your beneficiaries or anything is set in stone. You can kick people out.
You definitely have to update those beneficiaries because I know a story at my job where this guy had his he was married at the time. His beneficiary was his wife. He got remarried. He died.
And it went to his ex-wife. Yeah. And there's nothing anybody could do about it.
Right.
It's not like, it just go to your next of kin. Whoever you put down there, the life insurance company is paying.
I kind of respect that though.
100%.
Does anyone here have a will?
I don't. How do you go about getting a will?
You can actually, you can pull it up online. You can get the outline for it. You can write it out and get it notarized. Yes.
Okay, question down for the guy with all the questions. Who with nothing would have the audacity
to have a will?
To have a fucking will.
So look, it's not even about having nothing, right? So as a mom, it's different for me because I still have a child. Mm-hmm. So I need to make sure that my child is going to the right person. So what happened is when you die, the family is like, who gonna take care of this baby? Like,
and they
what we gonna do?
None of them
and
want.
Then if you have more than one, what do people want to do? Well, I can't take all of them, but I can take two. I can split them up. This is real life stories, right? So just think of somebody down with 5 or 6 kids.
That's too many kids.
Exactly. So do you think one person, and it's not to...
Because I'm not.
I'm not either, right?
So
but if you put it in your will where I'm obligated to, it's kind of like...
I don't give a fuck what that was. I'm not taking no damn 6 kids.
I mean, I probably wouldn't either, but at least I know that you trust me.
Michael Jackson, he had his mother first for his kids, and he had Diana Ross second.
Doesn't nobody want them
So you
kids?
gotta ask for permission.
Ross.
How you lie?
No, you don't have to
She
ask
did?
permission.
Those
So-
weren't his kids.
But what happens is, if you have a will, your spouse or the parent of the other parent, like you guys gotta agree on this shit. It took a long time because her dad did the will first.
Joe Jackson.
And then what happened was, no, my daughter's dad
Oh, okay.
did his will first.
Okay.
And then I did mine, and when I did mine, the guy was like, you guys gotta go back and change it. Somebody has to change it because he put, if he dies, that your daughter is going to this person, and you put this person and this person. And I'm like, well,
So
shit.
the mother don't trump the
You want to
father.
trust the queen of spades? You know the
Nah,
queen
it don't
of
work
spades?
like that. You dealing with a legal
King's
binding
Space
document.
So does the child automatically go to the other biological person? So
That's
like,
why we
like
got.
this,
That's a good
let's
point.
say this guy on the end.
If you don't have a will,
Let's say his child's mother puts in a will that I want the child to go to my mother in my time of passing.
no. So that's like
using this
she
Nipsey
can.
Hussle
She
situation.
can only do this. She can only do that. Like if you don't have a will, right? But as the parent, you still trump.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Right. I don't give a fuck
Right.
what that will say.
As far so like say
Tell you what's
so
gonna
say
happen.
she has a will and she's like, well, I want my child to go to my mom and then my sister, right? That will is only that portion of the will is only going to be enforced if he's no longer in the picture or
Or
not
the
around,
man,
right?
the right.
Exactly. But if he says like, no, that's not going to happen. This is my child. Then that child obviously.
So
goes
let's
to-
say
A good
what you
old-fashioned
said,
law.
but he haven't been taking care of the child. But then when she passed, he come up.
that'll be a real battle in the court.
So the court have to
So
find
yeah,
people
that'll
to
be
take
like
care.
We'll
that's
take
out
care
my
of it.
realm. That's out my financial realm right there.
I'm sure you heard about the story with this old white bat left all her money to her cat. Explain that.
White shit.
That is definitely white people shit.
White shit.
But
Dale, you can speak on that. Huh?
White
it
shit. Yeah.
it goes to the trust and that money will
To
go
my
to the cat.
So it's a
So somebody gonna get rich.
But see what happened, that's when you have your trust in your will and you say like this money go to my cat, right? Just like my will. This money, my daughter is not 18, so my money is gonna go into a trust. This portion is gonna be released to the person that takes care of my child until my child is 18. Once my child turns 18, if she's in school, she's gonna get this amount, and if she's not in school, she get this amount. Figure it out.
Ruling from the
What is the difference between getting notarized, the will notarized, and going through a lawyer?
So a lawyer, they do the same thing. Like a lawyer is just gonna make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, but at the end of the day, you still get it notarized. Like so, once we finished our will and everything was agreed upon, we both had to go and get it notarized, right? The reason I say is because what people don't realize is that you don't necessarily have to have a lawyer. That's what intimidates, especially us in the community, because you think that you can't afford it or you don't have access to it. You can download it off the internet, right? You can find all of these documents on the internet. You can get a will, it's gonna give you the outline, all of the proper wording, and what you do is you literally just fill in a blank, right? Once you finish it, you can take it and get it notarized. I tell people all the time, you can write a letter, a handwritten letter, and put it with your life insurance and say, this is my final wishes. You can get it notarized.
And it will be
And it's
sealed
binding.
up.
It's a
It's
legal
binding.
binding document at that point.
So if I go to the Security Exchange and say, Mark bitch ass ain't getting nothing.
Ain't
Damn,
getting nothing.
Not a
They ain't getting
chance.
shit
Not
anyway.
a
I'm
court.
Right.
getting all the money.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Dale.
So the family that owned like Buckingham
I
Fountain,
want to invest
in their will they had it that they want the fountain to run forever. They was rich, and so somebody actually has to carry this out. to
Yeah,
the water.
so you have to have, and that's the thing when you have a will, right? You have your beneficiaries, you have the people that's going to take care of your kid, you have an executor, that's the person that's actually going to see that these wishes are played out, but that executor cannot benefit from your will at all. So that's the problem when you're doing a will, you got to come up with a lot of people. People think it's hard coming up with 2 beneficiaries. You got to come up with like, yeah, you gotta come up with like 7 people for a will, because you need the person that's gonna make sure everybody follow the rules. You need the person that's gonna make sure your baby taken care of, the person that's gonna be the beneficiary, the person that's gonna oversee Like when you're on your deathbed, all the like you have to come up with all these people,
So
and they
you
can't
gotta
be the
have somebody
same.
making sure somebody else do their job. They're like checks and balances. Or
Exactly.
Because
Right?
I need to make sure that I do not have a funeral. I don't want a funeral.
Why?
We giving you
I'm
one.
gonna be
A
talking
lot
to
of
you.
people don't want a funeral.
I
We
think
giving you a
most people
You don't-
like
you
they want all this stuff at
No,
their
you
funeral.
can-
I don't want it.
you can have a
So I'll be
memorial
talking to
service.
you. I don't
Okay.
want a
Don't
memorial. I don't want a funeral.
You gotta put
None
it in
of it.
writing.
Just
Nigga,
dump
you
it.
dead.
You gonna be
We give you
cremated?
shit.
I don't give a damn what they do.
I think you don't want no
Just
funeral
dump your
because
body in a river.
we all gonna be in the back talking like, yeah.
No, I'm
we
gonna
know
outlive.
you're sick.
I'm gonna outlive all of you. I'm gonna outlive all of
Put
you.
it in.
I
put it
think
in
most
writing.
black people do that because they don't want to be a burden once they gone.
Well, if you had life insurance, you wouldn't be a burden.
So I mean, they don't initially think that. They think like, I don't want them to go through all this trouble and
Yeah,
bury
yeah,
me
you
and
let Asian
pay all that
fans
stuff.
just
I'm
that
gonna
much.
give that money to them.
You know why? That's because when you have a small mentality and a way of thinking, that I think that is what come up. Like you could take that money and do something else. So when you never really had any, or you don't have a lot to leave, I feel like that, right? So I mean, I'm not a funeral person. I didn't want my brother. I wanted just a memorial service. But I also believe that in the black community, you got kids, like you have to give them some type of closure. So you can't really just think about you and your feelings. Like for me, I was like, I don't want a
Well,
funeral.
I teach
I
them
don't want
that.
him.
I
So
teach them now. Here today, gone tomorrow.
see,
So you still don't want a funeral?
I mean, I didn't want one for my. I don't like funerals. I didn't want to go to my brother's funeral. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like it took a lot for like my mom, my aunt, my cousins to force me. Even going to the viewing, like I'm like I don't want to do it because that's the last memory you have of somebody, right? When my grandma passed, that was the last memory I have of her is in that casket. So I'm a fan of memorial services, which they gave me. So I thank my auntie and my mom. They let me play my pictures up, to give me like that comfort of just
that's
seeing
gonna
a
have a
smile.
memorial.
I'm gonna have a memorial.
That's
So
what.
why
That's
to your body?
Well, you know what you're gonna have.
They bury.
Well, I got it in writing, so
Mike
they
had
giving me a memorial. They could
for
keep
his,
that.
for his grandmother.
My best friend had one for her mom. It was beautiful.
yeah, you do. You can
Yeah,
cremate.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can donate your body to
To
science. You can do anything.
You can still
Donate
have
to
a
science.
closed casket
Yeah.
and
I
have a
don't even want
memorial.
that.
Like you can do all of that. I don't want my body to be there. They could do whatever they want
Who's
to
there
do.
to enforce it?
Put me in a wall. Put me in a mausoleum.
I don't want nothing. I don't want
Mausoleum,
anything.
No.
Mama fight.
No, I don't want nobody. I don't want to be laying in no casket. Nobody looking at me and
See, me when I die, man, I want them to have
Touches
something
it, like-
that they can use to clone me.
This.
Okay.
Because I'm so awesome.
You need a lot of
I'm so
life
Okay.
You need a
Well, now let's say that you have a young man who
Uh-huh.
has a family of let's say 7.
Yeah.
What do you think is the average
Uh-huh.
life insurance policy that he should
That's a
have?
lot of fucking people.
How old is he?
Right. How old is he?
Let's say he's about 30, going on about 36.
Oh,
Look at his face.
Jeremy man. Oh,
He has a
shit,
family
damn.
of 7.
Okay.
What do you think is the average of life insurance that he should
So
have?
you
And I only use that example because we can go down from there.
Right.
He has
Right.
So
He said the
right.
So you should have 5 years times your salary, right? Most people say more. Some people say 10, 15 years or 10, 15 times your salary. You should at least have 5 years worth of salary and life insurance, right? That's gonna cover your kids 4 or 5 years. But life insurance, you have to be responsible. It's money that you getting at a discounted rate. You paying $100 and you're getting several $100,000. Even though it's not you, your kids are getting several $100,000. You pay me $100 and I'm paying them $250,000, right?
Now, which one is that term?
That's term. But it depends on your age because everybody's age is different and you can't have more than you can afford, which is why people let their policies lapse because it looked good. But
That's
you want
a
to
hustle.
spend. No, it's not. Because as your life insurance agent, I don't want you to spend $200 if you can't afford that. My job is to protect your family. And if I sell you a $200 policy and you let this lapse, 1, I'm not doing my job. I'm losing money, right? 2, if you fucking go out there and walk in front of the car and get hit, now your family looking at me like, lady, you was at my house and you left this paper and now you tell me that they don't have this policy. because I'll let you buy more than you can afford. You should spend 3 to 5% of your income, no more than 10% on life insurance. Think of life insurance as you paying yourself.
And then if you commit suicide, you don't get it, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
good
I think there's some
question.
provisions with that.
Certain companies will pay you.
I'm not paying you shit if your dumb ass kill yourself and fuck your family. I wouldn't tell you to do that shit.
It's not, but certain companies will pay you if you kill yourself.
What about your
After 2
company?
years, we will pay you.
Y'all losers,
I don't want to
yo.
advertise that. That's so bad. But
She said
yes,
they gonna pay.
after 2 years, we pay out.
Wait, also y'all will hold the money for 2 years?
No, so if you kill yourself within the first 2 years, we will not pay out.
Also the third year you get
So remember, so this is what people don't know, right? With life insurance, you have what's called a 2-year contestability period,
y'all
right?
been fighting and shit.
So no, it's a difference because with my company, from the time you sign that paper, you covered as soon as I walk out your door. So if the ceiling fall in, we pay out,
Damn.
right? As long as you didn't lie about anything on your application, because we do all of our underwriting up front. So you guys have to know that when you get life insurance, every company is not the same. Every policy is not the same. You have some companies who ask no medical questions, no physicals,
I want that.
nothing, right? Guess what? If something happened to you in them 2 years, you know what they're going to do?
We'll go back and look up.
No, they're going to give all your, they're not even going to look. They're not going to waste their money looking for it. They're going to pay your family all the money that you paid and say, oh, he didn't have us for 2 years. Or say you died of a heart attack. They're going to say, oh, he had heart conditions. We didn't know this. We wouldn't have covered him if we knew he had heart conditions, right?
So you want motherfuckers to do the full scan.
You want them. You want to make sure. So like my company, what happens is we do all our underwriting up front. We going to ask you a bunch of medical questions, right? They might give you a physical.
But so through your company's
Through my
doctors?
company. But what happens is, in that first 2 years, if you die, we gonna cover you. Unless you say, no, I never had cancer, and then 6 months after you get this policy, you die of cancer. We gonna be
What
like,
if you really didn't have cancer?
if you did, then we paying out.
But
But
like,
if you had a history of cancer, or if you tell me that you don't have high blood pressure, or you don't have heart problems, and then you die of a heart attack, and they come to find out that you had high blood pressure
How would
for
they
all
find
this
out?
time.
One of your investigators.
All
would
the
go.
time.
Yeah, medical records
But if
investigation.
there's no paper trail for it, we good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get y'all.
What do you say to people that think insurance is a scam? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I mean, people say it all the time, right? I always ask them, how much money do you have saved up in your bank account?
Don't nobody got savings.
Right. I mean, some people do. I get that all the time. I could pay for a funeral. I got money saved up. My kids straight. My family will be taken care of, right? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But the only thing I can say to that is you have a savings account, and I'm so happy for you, right? That means that you are financially responsible. But your savings account is for what? A rainy day. You're saving for something, and I can guarantee you it is not your funeral. So you're saving for something.
Some
You
gym shoes or something.
maybe, or maybe they trying to get that new condo, and you once you get that 7,000.
It been out already.
Look, that's what your savings account mark. You got to start all over now. You know what about them?
Yeah.
He's old.
You got to think that if you saving and you buy that building, and then you just spent your money and you die. What do they
The
do?
builder should go to.
The building should, but somebody still got to bury you right now.
We got
So now I gotta sell this. I gotta deal with all of this stress. They finna try to jip me on the money, and now I still gotta pay for a funeral. And when you think the funeral director wanna be paid?
Leave me right there on Harrison and Dane.
How much
Take it to the backyard.
how much does a respectable funeral cost?
A funeral is $15,000, and that's not even.
That's the week funeral?
No, let me tell you. So people gonna say, "Girl, I could get a funeral for $8,000-9,000." Yes, you can.
That's just the cash.
But you gonna have a funeral. But I bet you that you're not gonna have a headstone, 100%, because a headstone alone is $5,000 or $6,000.
What? The little
And that's the little
submission?
weak one. That's the
Who you not
That's
getting?
the love.
Who ain't getting nothing?
You better put a piece of paper in that
Calls about
motherfucker.
a word,
He buried here. A
Yeah.
master
You
word.
get
Yeah, the boy. That's why you think people put on
I need
there
to open up a
love.
Love.
Yeah, you should open up together.
They just put love.
I
She
mean,
said
when
she
you-
saved money.
Yeah, when you don't have the money and mean, you just trying to make it. You
Per
see
word,
those,
bro.
you see those people with that one line. We love you.
We gonna use that fucking battle.
So
That's
it's
my
more
team.
Pictures and shit.
mean and surly. Now, Mark is worth more dead than alive. He has the pension and the 401ks and the 457. Why don't you tell us working people here, the importance of those accounts and investments, you know, and moving towards retirement?
So, when it comes to that stuff is all ultra important. But again, you never put all your eggs in one basket, because pensions fall through, right? We all know how the city struggle to pay out their pensions. 401s and IRAs, all that stuff is based off of the stock market and how well the stock market does. So you want to make sure that when you're investing into different things. That's where your whole life come in at, right? That's a guaranteed investment. That's the only thing that does not go based off of how well the stock market does, right? So that's a guaranteed payout. Then you have your annuities, right? You can get what's called an indexed annuity, where you have a floor and a ceiling. That means that whatever you put in, let's say it's my 109,000, my max, my ceiling is gonna be like, let's say 12%, right? But it's never gonna go below 0. So there's a ceiling and there's a floor, right? So I'm never gonna lose my money. I can only gain money from it. Okay? There's different types of annuities. There's different types of stocks and bonds. Remember that when you're playing a stock market game, the stock market, when it comes to a stock versus a bond, a stock is always more riskier, because that's saying that you own a piece of that company. You're investing in it. You're taking on the risk of that company, right? A bond is more of a loan. I don't really want to invest in your company, but I'm going to loan you some money. So if anything happens to that company, and let's say if it folds, guess who they pay out first? It is not the shareholders. It is the people with the bonds, because that was money like they just told you they were going to borrow it to you. Yeah. So you think because you have stock, right? We educated, but not the right way, right? You took on that responsibility when you bought that stock. So they can opt to pay you dividends and interest. They split the money or whatever's left, but you're a shareholder in that company. You got to take pride in that company. You chose to invest in it. When I deal with bonds, guess what? I'm just saying, I like you and I think you good. I think you're going to do well, but I'm just going to borrow you. I'm going to just loan you my money.
So we don't gain interest.
The bonds do, yeah, they have interest. They have all different types of bonds.
So if you do bond, would you recommend like somebody wherever the peak that you get out, because you're not there for
That's
the
what
long
stock. Yeah, so like with stock, you have short-term, long-term games, things like that. I learned about stock with Walgreens. That was my first education on stock right there.
Because when I worked for Comcast, like all the shit you were saying, as much as I'm not gonna do any of it.
Okay.
I
At least
was-
you know about it.
Oh yeah, I'm the
You can
guy.
tell
I
somebody
won't
else.
lie to you.
There you go.
I'm not lying. When I was with Comcast, like you said, like, that's what 401k and Fidelity, all these motherfuckers who just started sending me shit. I'm like, what the fuck is a 401k? And I got educated, but I didn't know. I was like 20 something. So they said that you instantly get stock in our company, or you could cash out now. So they like my supervisor was like, no man, don't do that. And like I'm 20 something, I'm like, shit, I want that money right now. So you saying had I kept it as a stock, I will always be invested in them.
And yeah, so my stock with Walgreens, when I first bought my stock, I didn't know anything about it. Somebody that had been with the company 30 years was like, buy it, buy it, buy it, it's
Right.
cheap. I bought it at $26. When I sold it, it was at $98.
Come on.
Right? So, and I didn't know anything. I had just bought like 150 shares of it, and I was just like, it's $26. I don't know, it didn't seem like a lot, right? But I bought it through the company. So usually when you buy it through your own company for the company you work for, you can either get on a payment plan or you get a discount, right? We got a 10% discount.
Yeah.
So I end up paying for it, and when I sold it, it was at $98. So you do the math on it, 26 times 15, right? And then I sold it at 98 times 15. I made all my money back off of it.
That's what's
Plus
up.
some.
Goody.
So
You made extra money.
About buying stock from CTA.
No, I didn't get any
you
papers.
can go to HR though. You can go to your, it might not come in the mail, but you can always log on to your HR portal. and invest. Most companies will allow you to purchase stock with them.
So do you recommend for like whatever, like the known knowns like Nike, Jordan Brand? Like now listen, because that's what you would think a person would like go toward, like it's safe. How do you educate people like us who want to find that next up and coming thing?
So what I can tell you is because I don't hold a brokerage license when it comes to stocks and bonds, but I do have to take the courses for them, right? And I've learned through my previous experience. So the best thing I can tell you, coming from a person like me who is completely uneducated about it, Fidelity is an amazing place to start if you're a new stock person, right? But you can also go and Google, right? We have these amazing phones and computers in our hand, but we don't use them for the right thing. Only thing we get on is social. I'm with you on that one, Mark. We don't Google the right stuff.
We don't trust, but some people don't trust what they read on.
But no, it's not that, because people will trust what resonates with them, right? So if you are a person that is big on a health kick, right? You with the Dr. CB and they feeding us all this and this is plastic, and as soon as you see the video on Facebook and they gave us fake rice, everybody like, you eating plastic, don't eat that, right? You believe it based off that one video.
He think it's different air in the suburbs. So
I mean, I might be with him. I might be with him.
Yeah,
you feel better.
Everything.
The
I don't
water
drink out the faucet anymore.
What? It's beneath you?
It's way fucking beneath. I drink out the bathtub.
So Miss Carolyn is the what's your title? Supervising agent with American
Income.
Insurance.
No, that's not us. We don't have a commercial.
I wanted the
the
No.
Lloyd Agencies of American.
There we go. I'm a Lloyd Agency.
American
Income
Life.
We don't have a commercial. There's no lizard, no duck, no jack, no
better
frog.
give one, man.
That's my commercial right there.
Most of our followers and listeners will be of brown skin and minority. What do you say to these people who are watching, who will listen to us about insurance and its importance?
Don't be afraid of insurance. Everybody need it. Everybody gonna die at some point, whether you want to admit it or not, whether it's natural causes, an accident, whatever the case is. Reach out to somebody. The only time we talk about life insurance is either somebody just died, somebody is sick and they don't qualify, because insurance is not about whether you want it, it's about whether you can buy it. Or you have somebody like me that's sitting at your kitchen table like, hey, let's talk about life insurance, right? So if you just step out your comfort zone and reach out to somebody, I'm all about educating people of color because we are the least educated when it comes to this type of stuff. So part of my job is, I'm with him, I breathe different in the suburbs, but I want to help my people.
I'm
because
suffocating in here right now.
I want to help my people because we don't really know. We don't have that one up. And just imagine if everybody in here had $700,000 of life insurance.
Come on.
How many people in here? You got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people,
and
right?
It's a girl at that roof of gold. You couldn't count her. One no.
We cool. So you got 10 people with 700,000, right?
What's that?
What is that?
Yeah, we like
7 million?
Yeah, we had $1 million.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's just say $1 million. You got $1 million, you got 10 people, that's $10 million that
that's not just $1 million.
No,
You
I'm
said
saying $1 million each.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying
Oh, I
$1
know
million
what math
each.
is.
Make it
Oh,
even,
okay.
right? Because I ain't that good at math. But let's make it
You
even.
better be almost here. You done fucked up now.
Let's make it $1 million each, right? We got $10 million that you're about to exactly, right? So just think about what 10 people can do. You got $10 million you're about to invest back into your people, your family, your community. How many generations are you affecting at that point? So we gotta stop being selfish. Black people, we too selfish when it comes to money. We think we worked hard for it, so fuck it. Let everybody else work for it too.
That's true.
But you can't be like that. You gotta think about the people, your own bloodline, your own lineage. Like you leaving a legacy for you and your last name.
You very nice.
I mean, I done been through it, the customer and the rep. So
okay.
So your company, is it a European company? Like, is it white
He
on?
ain't black
So-
on.
He
Is it
disguised. Wait, cause Dale mad on how you
No, I'm not.
disguised.
No,
I saw your
I ain't
face.
saying
I
shit.
saw your
I'm
face.
hot. I'm hot, man. I'm hot.
So our company was founded in 1924 by a white man, right? But we are an American company, so I'm not a black-owned company. Now my office, my agency that I work out of, is owned by a minority
That
lady,
was my next
right?
question. Like,
So
your
my
pitch is to your black people.
my pitch is to my black people, right? Not necessarily because I'm all with the black, right? But I want you to be educated about it. So let's take some of the white people insurance money, because they got a lot of it,
She's been
and
told.
take it and invest it back into our black communities, just like they take our money when we go and we spend it with them at their stores, right?
Come on.
So again, we giving them pennies, we giving them dollars. Let's get a few 100,000 back. Let's get a few million back. So you got to think about it like, as a minority, we just getting onto the support our own, buy black, shop black. Let's all do everything together. But how can you when you don't even want to invest into your own family or yourself?
That makes
Like
sense.
you preaching this to let's
Strangers
be one,
and
let's
shit.
be unity.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm finna go to his store and buy his shirt with his name
But
on
you
it.
ain't got your
But I
people
bet
right.
you his money going to his family, right? You just taking money from your people, giving it to the next. You taking it from your child. At the end of the day, it's not from your people, it's coming from your child. And you're giving it to the next black person, which I'm happy you keeping it with the black people, right?
Family
But just
first.
like Jay-Z said, now that black person finna go spend it with the white person. He going to the Jews to get all his stuff,
Yes.
right? So you gotta make sure you protecting yours and your house before you can help anybody. You can't help anybody else if you're not helping yourself. So black people, invest into your family. Make sure that your people are taken care of, because nobody gonna take care of your kids like you are.
My final question
I like
over
her.
the guys.
I have to bow.
For me being the only person on the panel with hope of getting married,
Okay.
these are the questions that I have because, like I was just discussing with my friend, my female friend who got ideas of being married in the
To
next
you?
2 years. No,
Oh,
no.
I mean, you're very charming. I was.
Well,
You know.
no, I'm gonna say that.
Thank you.
I wanted to when we started talking taxes, like when you go from single to marital and everything start being split down the middle, as far as with insurance for like you were setting up like who we go to, how much power, where's the battle between spouse and child
Guess what?
with that?
You asked all the good questions
I'm just
down
here.
there at the end.
Even though I
You
don't do
gonna,
this
you
shit.
gonna help somebody.
I'm
Somebody
trying.
gonna learn
I'm
something.
trying to
from
say
you, right?
lies.
Insurance is tax-free money.
Mhm.
Don't matter. You don't pay any taxes on it. I don't care if it's
That's-
$100 million. That money is tax-free. You know why? Because I paid my taxes before I took my money and invested into this policy, right? This money has already been taxed. $1 in 20 years is not gonna be worth $1. That shit is gonna be worth 50 cents, right? But guess what? I put it in my life insurance, so it's still gonna hold the same value.
That's what
Okay.
pisses me off about the 401k and the pension.
Don't put all your eggs in one. You think you one up,
It's
and
not
the people
it's not taxed yet. So when you cash out,
you
Yeah.
taxing.
they hit
They
And
it.
get
they
all
hit
their money,
Yeah.
right? So
Not if you take
when it
from
comes-
this part, we pull it out, right?
I ain't gonna change my fucking
if you talk about something that you don't, but you can, when it comes to spouse and child ratio, if your child is under 18, leave it to the person that's gonna take care of your child. Because if you don't, guess what? When your child turns 18, guess what Uncle Sam is gonna do?
He coming.
Tax it at 40%, 30 to 40%. So if you leave $1 million and they come and they take 400,000, now how you feel about that?
I'm pissed off.
You pissed off from the grave, right? But guess what? They charging you for maintaining that money for your baby.
Okay.
So leave it to the person, leave it to your spouse, and when you get old and you think your spouse might
But
get
what if I
a new
never
one,
trusted that bitch? Because
you better find somebody, the person that's gonna take care of your
I'm
kids.
married her, but now, like, when I die, Juanita Jordan appears. She don't give a fuck. It was never her kid. So it's like, that's what you get, like,
So-
do what I want the will in that sense now.
That's you would,
I'm
or
following you.
guess what? You don't have to leave it to your spouse.
Nah, she ain't gonna
You
let
could-
me do that. She gonna be a black
Guess
woman. She
what?
not doing that shit.
You could change it.
Do I tell her?
You
Or
don't have to.
you trying to ruin my
You gonna
marriage?
be
I ain't
dead.
got that.
You gonna be
You gonna be dead.
dead.
She
But-
gonna find out till you dead, bro.
Yeah.
And
But
she
do I
ain't
do it
gonna
in
think of
secret?
you, 'cause she got No, I'm not advocating.
Because that's what I want to know.
I mean, if you feel like you need to, if you don't trust this person, at the end of the day, it's your money that you're paying for.
It ain't so much trust, and I'm being semi-serious because at the time, like you said, you get married and everything feel good until you have these real life conversations. As I get older, I'm gonna be like, and if she a real woman, she like, nigga, I've been with you all these years. You ain't finna take this shit and give it to who over there.
And this was like on a serious note, right? Mm-hmm. Just because you married don't mean that your life insurance policy, there you go, gotta be with that person, okay? So
My
you
wife
can't
can't think like that. I'm getting all that shit.
So you can't, for me with a child, my money is going to the person that is going to take care of my child, whoever that person is going to be. Whether it's my mama, my sister, until I feel like I want to change it, until my baby turns 25, right? Or
you gonna say 25, not 18?
No, hell no, my baby can't get that money at 18.
19.
Hell no.
Not responsible.
What you doing at 18? Think about it.
I'm assuming she gonna be in college. Her mama's
okay, and so she gonna be in college, and she gonna have some friends that's gonna be like,
no. I don't think
let's go. I'm dead. She has like no life.
I think you gonna have it set up in a trust or like how it's allocated
it's gonna be released for her. That don't mean she still can't spend it as quick as them checks come, right? So she'll get some when she 18. It'll get to her.
Okay.
But if I die before she turns 25, like that money still, my will still set up the same. It's going to this person who gonna disperse the checks to her until a certain age. Now once she turns 25, I'm gonna change all my beneficiaries. It go to her by 25. I pray to God that you're responsible. You learn something. You got your wildness out. Like you a little bit more calm. Now you on to some investment stuff. Let's be responsible with it. Like at
So
that
it's
age.
probably best to not tell them that they're gonna inherit that money.
No. So black people get this book. It's called How to Make Your Kid a Money Genius, even if you're not.
Yeah.
So it's the best book I ever read. So I'm teaching my daughter.
I'm thinking about myself at 18. If I do, I'm trying to get some money tell me shit. Cause once I turn 25, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. Start my
But guess what? You starting a record label. So if that's what she want to do with it, she better make that shit work. That's it. That's
now, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at you, I'm observing. You got a nice ring. I'm looking for a wedding ring. I don't see it. So, are you able to have all this set up? And then, as I said, because I'm flipping the roles now.
Right.
I come in as your because I'll fuck around and marry you if you ain't busy.
Right. Okay.
Are you going to be able to? Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to tell me all these people are in line before me because I'm going to be offended. So as you
guess what? They were here before you. So
I'm
they
getting
had time before you. Now, if we get married and I trust you, then yeah, I'm switching all my things over to you. But when it comes to my child again,
yeah, I get that.
Are you gonna be the person that's gonna take care of my child? Probably not.
That's what I did. Well, I married you, so I guess we're but your sisters ain't getting that. That's all.
Miss Carol, if they have something final for you, we're gonna wrap up. This is Unapologetic. Follow us on Facebook, IG, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat. We have a Unapologetic Gmail. We're sponsored by John's by Jasmine and R&J Paints. We'll be back. And Mike Check Entertainment. Comedy show June 14th. Wednesday night, we will be back live here. We're running out of time here. We don't want to lose the show, so that's why we have to give it up for Miss Carolyn Lloyd Agencies of American. Very informative and educational, and we're going to share the show so that people can go back and listen. And hopefully, where can we follow you on business and
social
if you want to do personal?
So you can follow me on IG at TONESIA. You can find me on Facebook at TONESIA, last name George. And I don't even know my Snapchat name. You'll find it on one of those.
Okay. And you have a phone number?
I do.
Email?
Find me on social media, but you can definitely email me, first and last name, Carolyn George at Lloyd Agencies. That is my direct email. I will respond to you if you have any questions at all. definitely send me an email. I respond to emails within 24 hours. You can find me on social media. Send me a message. I definitely respond. I'm very timely with my responses. If you get my telephone number, don't ever leave me a voicemail. Send me a text message. It's the quickest way to get a response from me.
Thank you, Miss Carolyn. Thank you, Mark A. Twain, for bringing Miss Carolyn to us. This is Unapologetic Fab 5 Fridays. We'll be back live Wednesday, and next week we're supposed to have a special guest in the building. I'm not going to say his name just in case he plays.
It's a boy. He's not coming on this show.
What is it about?
Hit that hula.
Turn it off. What is it about next week?
Thank you, Fred.
Cut this off.
Unapologetic. That's the weakest thing on the show. You did good, man. You just so talking about it.
I wanted to ask you another question before we end.
Yeah, this is the